Okay, sorry for the delay there, and welcome to the Ford Go Detroit Challenge webinar. Today we're going to cover the Ford Go Detroit Challenge, which is now live on DevPost. I'm going to go through the submissions and the requirements. We also have Eric Wingfield from Ford joining us, who's going to go into a little bit more detail about what the competition's about, why they're doing this, some of the issues being faced in Detroit. And then finally, I'm just going to round off with a Q&A where you can ask questions around anything from what you should be building to the submission requirement process. Okay, well, let's get started. So I'm just gonna... Okay, so as I mentioned, this is about the Ford Go Detroit web challenge. Registrations and submissions are through the godetroit.devpost.com website, which I'm sure most of you have already seen. The deadline for submissions is February 7th, 2017 at 5 p.m. We allow participation from all around the world, but please do check the rules just in case. There are a few countries that there are exceptions for, so please do check the rules again on the godetroit.devpost.com site to check for your country's eligibility. We have $30,000 in prizes for this particular hackathon. The basic requirement for this, what Ford is looking for, is for you to create a software application that allows Detroit residents to basically access their daily life activities, such as school, such as going to work, access to healthcare, going to play, effectively and also safely. So right now I'm going to hand it over to Eric from Ford, who's going to go through some of the issues being faced right now in Detroit, and then why Ford is hosting this competition. So Eric, over to you.
Hey, thanks for hosting this, Neil, and I'm super excited to talk to folks. I hope you can hear me well. Just let Neil know if we have audio challenges. So let's talk about mobility. Mobility around the world is different in every city, and yet it's the same. And so we run challenges like this in order to learn from you. And in this particular case, we're focused on some issues that are relevant to Detroit commuters, such as long wait times, requiring access to safe and comfortable waiting areas when they're looking for transit or trying to engage in transit. An example would be the extent to which, and then Neil, looks like your background's changing.
Sorry about that. Do you want to carry on? I'll fix that. Okay.
A set of security cameras on some, but not all buses. The interaction between riders and bus drivers isn't always the best, and then schedules aren't reliable. And so commuters risk arriving late to school or work, and allowing us travel time is difficult. Sometimes we're talking about commutes that are many hours in one direction. It's not just buses per se, although transit is an example here that Detroiters have told us they're very interested in. It's that people are using their cell phones to collectively organize how they get around. And so it's social networks or opportunities to think about how people move. We've seen a wide variety of perspectives around safety in development of apps. We're really looking for thoughtful applications, not just routing around the most recent crime statistics. That's one way that people do it. But why are you routing, and how is that giving people options or choices? For Detroiters, it's really just finding ways to expand the set of services available to them, so that they can have that easier commute. And then next slide.
Yep, hold on.
variety of ideas, but we've already been in discussion with Devpost, and they've thoughtfully put together a wide variety of resources and also some perspectives as previously suggested.
Sorry.
Have ideas on the Devpost website around travel sharing, as I mentioned, how people can use those platforms to bring together communities to facilitate getting to where they want to go, what safety looks like. You can increase the information available for people for making the decisions that they want to make. There's an opportunity to extend and support relationships for identifying usage, providing real-time information, tracking services, and then looking at use cases, whether it's schools or public-private transit systems. A variety of traveler demand could be getting to work, any number of things. How do you work within the context of those particular use cases to put together a valuable solution? And you can find those ideas at the above website. Essentially, you can navigate the Go to Detroit Devpost site and you'll get to that background information. Next slide. Neil is helping me navigate some computer difficulties on my side, so he's carrying on this conversation through his computer. So thank you, Neil. So the Go Detroit Challenge and community working sessions are going to be meeting at these various places. And they're going to be webinars. So if you want more details, you can join on these, and you can hear Detroit community members talk about how they consider these issues or what's important to them. And it's going to be should provide a wide variety of perspectives on what mobility means, but also what the solutions can solve.
Thank you, Eric. So I'm going to now carry on and then talk a little bit more about the submissions. And yes, as Eric mentioned, for these community working sessions, they're a great opportunity for you to meet like-minded people who are also interested in building out mobility solutions in the Detroit area. Ford are hosting 4 of these workshops. They're both, all of them are 2 hours long. The dates are Wednesday and Thursday next week, and then the Tuesday and Wednesday the following week. And if you want more details, they are all free as well. And if you want more details on how to sign up for them, please go to eventbrite.com and search for Go Detroit Challenge. Okay. So I'm going to move on and carry on a little bit about what to submit. So first of all, you need to make sure that you are registered for this hackathon, which I'm sure most of you are. If not, please just go to godetroit.devpost.com and you'll see the registration button on the right-hand banner. Now you can submit at any time before the deadline, which is February 7th, and you can update at any time up until that deadline, which is again 5 p.m. on February 7th. Please do have a look at some of the resources we have available on how to submit. The URL is here. It's devpost.com/software/submission instructions. Gives you a clear outline of exactly what you need to do and what you need to submit. One of the key things here is the demo video, which I'll go into a little bit more detail in, but about a 5-minute video which demos an outline of your application, and also the text, which does need to be in English. We also suggest a screenshot and also a proper description on exactly how to test your submission. And again, if you go to our FAQs, we have a good outline of exactly what you should be submitting there. In your video, as I mentioned, it should be about 5 minutes or shorter. Have a clear demo of exactly what your solution does and the problem that you're addressing as well. Please make sure that if you do have audio or narration, it is very clear, but it is optional. And you can upload it to Vimeo or YouTube or UQ. Just make sure that you do submit us the working link to your submission. We suggest that you submit early, and as I mentioned, you can submit now and you can carry on updating your submission up until the deadline. So it's good just to submit now so that you know you have a placeholder, and that if you want to ask questions around that, you can do so. We need some time to review your submission, and if you are submitting right up until the deadline, that can be a little bit sort of hectic for us to ask you for things that you're missing. But if you're submitting early on, we can engage with you to let you know if there are things that you need to submit before the deadline. And that's about it. Just want to make sure that you do have our support channels available. support@devpost.com is a great email for you to ask any general questions around the competition. We also have a River channel that you can talk on, which if you want to go into more details around the Detroit issues, and then also we have a discussion board. And for this webinar right now, Eric and I are available on the chat, which is on your right-hand side of the video. So if you do have any questions right now, please go ahead and submit those in the chat. Eric, is there anything else that you wanted to add in the meantime?
I think I know in general, challenges like this can be thought-provoking and difficult because they represent broader ideas. But I think the good set of resources that are provided on the challenge site really give people an opportunity to pull together a quick view on how to support these ideas. So I encourage everybody to go to the site and take a look at the background resources.
Absolutely. Yes, we have a tremendous amount of links to different traffic, roads, other data, which we've pulled from the Detroit and Greater Detroit area that you can utilize. Okay, we have a question that's come in. The question is my solution only meant to work for Detroit? Well, I can answer that. I can say that actually no. I mean, the competition is primarily to find software applications that does let Detroit residents reliably access their life and activities by helping them travel efficiently, safely to where they're going. But that application could also be utilized in other cities, which is absolutely fine. So yes, the primary solution here should be for Detroit, but your solution could be utilized for other cities. So that's absolutely fine. We have another question that's come in hold on, I'm just going to move this to a second. Okay, come back to me. All right. So the other question that's come in is, does the solution have to be specific to Detroit, or can it be more generic? And I think, again, just answered from the previous one, we are looking for solutions that are for Detroit, but those solutions could also be utilized or be relevant to other cities, not just in the US, but around the world. Okay, we have another question that's come in from Gautama Nair. Is there something like community working sessions for people who are outside the US to pitch and refine ideas? As far as I know, there aren't. The sessions are in-person sessions being hosted in Detroit. I know that we are having some calls with Ford to figure out how we can share these to a broader audience and how we can connect people from those sessions who are looking to connect with developers to build out solutions. So please stay tuned to the DevPost site where we will share those ideas with you. On how we are connecting people from those sessions to the greater developer community.
Neil, one thought that I have is a strength of DevPost is that there's an opportunity for individuals that are looking for teammates to help find each other on the DevPost site, correct?
Correct. So there is a tab called Find a Team. So once you're registered and you are a participant, we suggest that you go in and add your skill sets, add your interests, are you a developer, designer, etc., to your profile so that people know who you are. You can then go to Find a Team where you can start reaching out to specific participants that you are of interest to you, or you can talk about your idea to attract developers, designers, etc., for you to join teams. Yes, that's absolutely that's a really good idea, Eric, and that facility does exist on the DevPost site. All right, we'll see if there's any more questions that are coming in.
Well then, while we're waiting for another question, just let me summarize by saying, in general, we found that the skills that you all have to bring to issues like this are actually quite powerful. And so we often get inspired to these challenges with the ideas that you create. And I am looking forward to this one especially. I think the challenges here are really about the basics of people moving around effectively to live their life. And so I encourage everyone, and I'm thankful to bring out your best, and I'm really thankful for you in participating in some really cool software and solutions throughout. So thank you and good luck.
Absolutely. Eric, we do have another question that's come in, and that's, are there any special prize categories that we can win? Well, there are. There are two special ones. One is for a student, the best app built by a student, and the second one is the best app built by a Detroit resident. Both of these prizes have a $2,000 cash prize for both of them. We also have the Popular Choice Award, which is a $500 prize, and that is done by the voters on the DevPost site. The best student and the best resident will be chosen by the judges. You could actually, if you have a submission, you could potentially be eligible for all three. You could submit as a student who is also a resident of Detroit, and you could win the popular vote. So technically, you could win all three categories with your one submission. Just to clarify as well, for the resident prize, all residents from the team do need to be from the Detroit area. Okay, we have another question that's come in. Is completeness or innovation given more weight? Should I focus more on ideation or actual implementation? For this competition, it is about the implementation. We do require a working solution to be eligible for a prize. However, if you do have an idea that's come in and you're not able to complete it, the judges might still look at it, but it's not going to be eligible for a prize. We do require working solutions, complete solutions for eligibility. Eric, is there anything you wanted to add to that?
The one thing I would add is that the creativity and innovative ideas that in general come through this kind of a challenge are welcomed.
Right.
So if you're implementing something that is quite different, do you think, that's fine and well received by the judges. If you're implementing something that is, something in the sort of that people understand quite well because they've seen it in the market, that you're implementing it well and localizing it to Detroit in an appropriate way, even if it's globally relevant, then that's also recognized by the judges.
Absolutely. I would suggest if you look at the rules, if you look at the main page, the godetroit.devpost.com site, at the bottom you'll see the judging criteria. The judges are looking for uniqueness, a new innovation that's significantly different from a current product. They're looking for usability, a solution that is actionable, and they're looking for something that's sustainable. So yes, I suggest you look at the judging criteria at the bottom of the main page. All right. I'm not seeing any other questions coming in. If anyone does have any questions, please feel free to email us at support.devpost.com or start a forum question, and we'll gladly answer those. Otherwise, I think we are good to go. Well, from my side, thank you so much, everyone, and good luck. We really can't wait to see what you guys come up with for this Detroit challenge. And Eric?
Thank you all. It's an exciting opportunity to provide solutions for a city.
Absolutely.
So we look forward to seeing the great ideas.
Thank you.
And appreciate the hard work you're putting into the challenge.
Absolutely. And also, this will not be the last webinar that we run around this competition, so please keep your eyes open for any other webinars that we plan in the future before the submissions date. All right. Well, thank you, everyone, and goodbye.